just had a leg of an animal and you throw it on the fire. You know? Everybody come over and gnaw on this leg. And if you hit the raw meat, we throw it back on the fire.
Yeah.
If you see your cows running up and down the fence with a sign that said, "We need water," your big pond's dry.
Yeah, true.
Well, 2 words sum it up. It's hot and dry. Oh, it is really bad.
I know.
It's getting bad. It's going to get worse, I'm afraid, but we got to hang in there.
Yep. Hello, my friends. Today, I'm sitting down with one of my neighbors, a neighbor that owns the Longhorns, and I filmed his Longhorns several times throughout the winter months and the summer months. And today we're going to be sitting down and talking about the drought, kind of like the beef crisis that's going on and everybody's selling off their beef cows.
I've got a friend that he took a trailer load of commercial beef to a nearby auction, and when he got there, other ranchers were lined up on the highway to sell their beef for about 3 miles in both directions. Yeah. And so they're just trying to dump them, and they'll get paid anything. Yeah. But there's no grass, and there's no water. And if there was grass and no water, it wouldn't grow. And so, but the cows have eaten the grass down to the ground. Yep. And there's not even any poor grass anymore. So it's really a crisis situation. We've got all registered Longhorns, and we went with that breed about 10 years ago because we had others up until that time, and we had a drought, and we just had to get rid of all of them. They couldn't make it. But our Longhorns they've been through this in their genealogy, and they've got genes for it. Yeah. And they can make it better than any other breed. Yeah. So it's good to have them. We're trying to keep them. As they say, they can live on barbed wire and cactus. And so and they're having to do almost that right now. But they're great animals for stressful situations. We're hanging in there with them.
So how long did that drought go on, and what year was that?
It was back in 11. 11. And our pond dried up. Yeah. And so I wish we'd have had all Longhorns then, but we didn't. And we sold them at 40 cents a pound on the hoof, and we lost a lot of money. But
so was that back when you had Angus?
We had Angus, some Charolais, some Hereford, and a few mixed breeds. Yeah. But you know, somebody has to buy them when they take them to an auction. We don't ever take ours to an auction. We sell them as 100% grass-fed beef. Okay. And one of the things that helps our animals get through this is we don't put any pesticides or herbicides on our grasslands, on our pastures. Yep. And we don't vaccinate. Okay. We don't give them any chemicals. True. And so we have less flies, horn flies, than ever. You know, and so our grass has more. What grass we have has more nutrition in it. Chemicals keep the grass from sucking up the minerals and things from the soil. That's how they kill some of the varieties like goat weeds and things. But so the grass that they do eat is very nutritious, and I think that's one of the things that keeps them going. We've only got 1 or 2 in bad shape. Yeah. But the rest of them are hanging in there, and if you could see in the pasture now, they're laying around under the trees, conserving energy. Yep. And tonight, when it's a little cooler, because it's over 100 now, tonight, when it's a little cooler, they'll go out and search for a blade here and a blade there. And they're really hardy individuals for survival.
So when are you thinking about putting out hay? When are you going to start feeding?
I'm going to easy go into it. Probably it'll be next week. Next week. Because I had a tractor. The front end, I had some problems with the front end. I've been waiting on a part for that. Or I'd put out hay tomorrow. Or Wednesday, I think. Okay. Just not a lot, but a few rolls. And that'll help them get by. Yeah, that was one of the things that we're a pretty much organic farm as well. We raise Longhorns, as y'all know, or maybe you don't know, but we don't put any herbicides or pesticides on our fields. And the thing is that
our fields look way better, 10 times better than all the other fields that they get bombed with Roundup and everything like that. They're already totally crisp, and they got thistles growing up in them and goat weeds, because as soon as there's not water for that pretty much synthetic grass that they've created, it just totally disappears. It's absolutely crazy.
And you know, we've done it before, but about 5 or 6 years, no longer than that, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, we stopped putting commercial fertilizer on any part of the pasture.
Yeah.
And so I think you can grow more grass that way.
Yeah.
But the nutritious value of that grass is not as much. I think we're as profitable as any of the commercial operations just because we don't spend that money for fertilizers or chemicals. And we let cows, they usually always will wean their own before, at least a couple of months before they have another baby.
Yeah.
And because they need to build up, it takes a couple of months to build up that colostrum for the new calf.
Yeah.
And God built that into the Longhorns,
True.
So that's another advantage. And of course, they never have problems birthing.
Yeah, exactly.
I say never. We've never had, but I've heard of some people rarely having a case. Back when I was young and we raised other breeds, we primarily Herefords, we really had to help in the delivery all the time. And we lost a lot of animals. The calf would die, or the cow and the calf would die. And so it's not a profitable deal.
Yeah.
And totally different body design.
So you stocked up pretty heavy this year on hay, pretty much, or no, not enough? What do you think?
Last year I fed about 200 rolls.
Okay.
This year I only bought about almost 150 rolls. But last year I started having to feed it early in October because we had a drought in the fall. So this year, if I start feeding it now, we're still in July.
Yep.
And we're not going into the rainy season. August is coming.
Yeah.
So, if I have to feed the hay from now till next March,
it's going to be bad.
I don't have a third enough.
Yeah.
And they'll have to bring it in from Mississippi and Alabama, and it's really usually bad hay, and it's 3 times the price.
Yeah.
But the other alternative is just eat the animals.
Yeah.
So it's sad.
Yeah.
That's
because we just can't afford to buy over $100 a bale.
Back in 11, it was $120 a roll for poor hay.
Yeah.
And so you tie, $800 to $1,000 per animal.
Yeah.
And there's not profit in that.
Yeah.
And it have to be profitable.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we were able to stock up, and we got about 70 bales. We're a couple bales short. I think we might be 10 bales short if we have to start feeding around now. I think we got close to 15 head going into winter, but how many head do y'all got, though, going into winter?
We have sold about 17 head, and we've got about 29 left.
Yeah.
So not big industrial ranchers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still enough to work yet.
Yeah, exactly. So you're the one that actually told me about the 5 to 6 bales per head. I was telling my viewers.
And so we're praying for rain.
Yep.
Even in August.
Yeah.
So rain dancers are at a high value right now, I'm telling you. And but if we could get a little bit of rain.
Yeah.
Our ponds are nearly dry.
I know.
And back in 11, the catfish tails were sticking up out of the mud,
I know.
It was just horrible. And but my wife and I, we installed a water system here so that we can fill up some troughs now. And
nice.
And in one pasture, that's all we have is troughs. So
troughs.
It's going to be rough.
Yeah.
But if we make it through it, it'll be okay. And a lot of people feed corn stalks.
True. Yeah, a lot of people have been baling corn stalks now.
This weekend we went down into central Texas.
Okay.
And they've started raising a lot of corn down there, and they're not they're not bush hogging those corn stalks anymore. They're baling them up.
Okay.
And they've got them stacked up there ready to sell.
Wow.
So they know, they've got a lot more profit in their corn crop by selling those. And
True.
They will sell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I will buy them. Oh, me.
So what do you think it's going to be like with the whole beef? Everybody's selling off all their beef, and for the years to come, what do you think it's going to be like with the whole beef situation? What do you think?
Like this year,
Yeah.
you know, they're dumping them for 30 to 40 cents a pound, you know.
That's crazy.
And so back a few presidents ago, they let Canadians and South American companies come in. They bought chicken manufacturing facilities in our area. They bought a lot of the bigger slaughterhouses. So they're buying. Somebody has to buy that, but somebody has to pay 40 cents.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
It's not going to be another rancher.
True.
He doesn't, you know, he's selling his. He's not swapping cattle. So they're buying it, and they're overnighting it to their slaughterhouses where they kill 1,000 a day. And so they can process that meat. And so that's not going to lower our beef in the store, because they stick it on they flash freeze it, they put it on planes, and they fly it to China or Indonesia, or there's people all over the world that have the money, and they're begging for that beef. So they're selling our beef they're not lowering our prices, and they're getting premium price for it in foreign countries that can't grow beef.
Wow.
And so, and if we owned those places, and the local places, the FDA won't let them have a license to create, so you can't even get your own beef butchered without a 5-month wait or maybe a year wait. And so our next processing date is in October. And we have people wanting beef.
Yeah, of course.
And so it's government controlled. And you know, it's totally not fair. It's not what we were based on. And so it's I think it's going to really bring about people butchering their own beef. You know. So
definitely. And that's what we've been doing. We've been learning as much as possible about butchering our own beef and everything like that. And it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but you know, doesn't need to be.
People have been doing it for the last 10, 12,000 years. So it's not a new technique. If you want to eat some meat, you got to process it. And of course, they didn't have saws.
True.
You know, a lot of it, you just had a leg of an animal, and you throw it on the fire. You know? Everybody come over and gnaw on this leg. And if you hit the raw meat, we throw it back on the fire. Oh, it's something. But we're still here.
True.
We still got our spurs on. And we're making things happen.
It's true.
We can make them happen still. And God will take care of us.
He will.
So. But are your cows doing okay?
Yeah, our cows are doing fine right now. I think I'm going to have to start feeding in about 2-3 more weeks. 3 weeks pushing it. Just with the heat, it's getting so bad. I mean, the goat weeds are feeling it. Goat weeds are over there wilting. You know, that's, you know, it's pretty dry when they're wilting. You
know, we mow when we can. But we walk across the pasture with a hoe in our hand. And
I saw you out there.
We're just, every weed you come to, you chop it. We over the years, we've just reduced the weeds and so without poison. And so when we come to here's another thing we've learned, the fire ant mounds. Everybody wants to put poison on them. Poison. The cows, you know, if you don't stand in the middle of one, they really won't attack you.
No, they won't.
They won't chase you down. But so don't stand in the middle of one is the key. And the cows have learned that. And so with our hoe, while we're looking for weeds, we just chop the middle out of it and spread the dirt out. Now that dirt came from way down deep, and it's full of fresh minerals. And that's what we're after, is minerals. And so, and gophers, I haven't found a gopher that ate all the grass yet. They don't kill the grass like people think. And so I just let them make a mound. We just rake the mound out. And we don't have to poison them and everything. They're part of God's creation. They're natural. and they bring up new minerals.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what they're good at. I've never had an animal injured because they stepped in one of their holes. And I've heard that, they'll...
Yeah.
I've never had that, so
I've
they may
never
do
had
it,
that.
but not on our place. And eventually they kind of go away.
Yeah.
You know, but I put up little signs that says gophers not allowed. So they leave.
They see that and they leave. They run for the hills.
Oh.
Yeah, but our tank over at our property is around the same size as yours. I haven't been back there in about a month or so to check on it, but it's probably in the same condition. But our little pond at the house, I mean, that thing is a little mud puddle now compared to what it was. It's probably only 3 foot deep.
Well, you need to go check on your big pond because if you see your cows running up and down the fence with a sign that said, "We need water," your big pond's dry.
Yeah, true.
We've had a few breezes today.
Yeah. It's been nice.
Good.
That's one
Not
of the nice
nice,
things.
but good. no dead. We haven't found a dead cow. So
Okay, well that's good.
they're all lazy. I saw 2 dead animals in a pen yesterday when we were driving back from Central Texas, and you know, the buzzards were setting up on the post. It was a small corral, you know, just and they were setting up there, and there were 2. You could see the 2 animal cows. They were black cows inside the pen, and somebody forgot to water them, I'm sure.
Because that's like one of the things that's been going around lately is a lot of black Angus have been dying off because of the heat, and that's kind of been in the news quite a bit, is these Angus cows dying and everything like that. But I think, what do you think? Just mainly because they've been bred so much, like interbred?
Well, they're an industry cattle that they're designed to grow fast when force fed. And so if you can get a 7-month-old calf, you can sell it usually in a regular market for premium price, so good price, and it'll pay for the cows' hay and make a profit. Okay, so that if you got 100 of them, you got you could almost make a living. And so that calf will be sent to a force feeding facility. Cows are not designed to eat grain. They don't have a stomach to eat grain. So it takes them about a month and a half to get where their digestive enzymes can break down grain. And so they're not going to do well, and a lot of them die during that time in a feedlot. So you got 30 of them in a little square feedlot, and they don't have an outside restroom. So they're force-fed grain, and also have to have growth hormones either injected behind their ear, like Ralgro or some other brand, or they'll put it in their feed. But they have to have antibiotics every day.
Okay.
And not once a week or something, but it has to. Usually they'll just mix it in with their feed.
Wow.
And it's going to be close to the fields where they grow grain, and it's going to feedlot's going to. It may have 5,000 animals in there, and small pens, and so it's going to be close to a kill or a processing facility, because when they come over to buy the animals, sometimes they'll use a sonogram to run up and down their back, and so the sonogram takes pictures of their loin, and they can count the steaks.
Whoa.
And so when one gets ready for the steaks, and that, since they're force-fed daily, they eat 24 hours a day if they can, then they're going to have marbling, and this is a market for restaurants.
Yeah.
They want that. Now, 100% grass-fed beef is not going to have marbling. Yeah. Because that's not natural. And but it's going to have about 40 to 1 omega-3s to every 1 omega-6s. And if it's a grain-fed animal, it'll have about 40 to 1 omega-6s to every 1 omega-3s. And so the benefit there is omega-3s stop inflammation. That's what they do. Omega-6s cause inflammation. That's what they do. And so that's the health benefit.
Interesting.
It's not just not having the growth hormones or the antibiotics come through the animal to your body. That's really bad stuff anyway. But it's a huge inflammation, because inflammation is the enemy of the body.
Yeah.
And omega-3s stop it. So eating natural food, whether it be a chicken or a cow or whatever, that's so important to get that, and so healthy.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
Yeah.
going to nature.
Yeah.
You can't go against nature and win.
Yeah, so the one thing is too also is that our family eats a lot of Longhorn. What I want to actually hear from you, because you are a Longhorn rancher as well, because I have not a lot, but a couple of my followers, they're always talking about how nasty Longhorn beef is.
Oh, let me tell you about the industry, since we're talking
Yeah.
about the industry. Okay, we have a farm and ranch deal for our county extension. It's a club, and so we meet once a month. Well, okay, we had a buyer who buys these cattle and they process them. It works for a big company. Come and talk to us. If your calf is half white and half black,
Okay.
it can be listed as an Angus. Doesn't have to be an Angus breed.
What?
And so that's a great marketing technique. But and look at when they take those Herefords and Charolais and Brahman, and they usually don't have Longhorns because they don't want animals with horns in their feedlot.
Yeah.
They'll hurt somebody.
Yeah.
And so anyway, when they take them in and slaughter them, and they're ready to go in the cooler, and they're hanging there without entrails and skin and head, they don't tag that. They don't know what animal that's not labeled. Oh, this one was an Angus maybe, or this one, I think this one was a Charolais. They all look the same.
Just a cow.
Yeah, it's just a cow. So when you think you're buying Angus
Interesting.
beef
No
in a
way.
factory, it could be anything.
Wow.
But it's a great marketing deal. And so
Interesting.
people, I know a restaurant that advertises, we only buy certified Angus beef. Yeah, well, I know where he buys the beef, and I know that he hasn't got a clue. And
funny.
so but it's a great marketing
Yeah, it
tool,
is.
you know, and they
Interesting.
have built up the organization tremendous by doing that. But the truth is the truth.
Yeah.
And so, but all meat, I think, is very similar. They say Jersey is the best. But
I've heard that.
and so we just eat Longhorn,
Yeah.
and we love it.
Yeah.
And we know the difference when we eat any other, because it's grain-fed, and
Yep.
all of ours that we eat are 100% grass-fed,
Yeah.
and it's absolutely delicious.
That's
And
what I think, yeah.
So we don't want to eat any other. But sometimes we're visiting people, like our children.
Yep.
And we had our 6-year-old grandson one day. They'd run out. We'd give them meat, and they'd run out. And so they'd gone to H-E-B and bought some meat. and my little grandson took a bite of the burger, and he looked at us and he said, "I don't like H-E-B. He said, I like Ferguson meat."
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
it was.
awesome.
And I said, that's the best compliment you
Yeah.
can get.
Yeah.
Nobody paid him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, man. So it's a great industry, and it's great. We love our Longhorns.
Yeah.
And we try to take care of them.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to say thank you again for letting me sit down and talk to you about the weather and the cow situation, everything like that. And
Well, 2 words sum it up. It's hot and dry. Oh, it is really bad.
I know.
And
It's
it's
getting
going
bad.
to get worse, I'm afraid. But we
Sadly.
got to hang in there.
Yep.
You kind of fall in love with some of these cows.
Yeah.
And you know them, they're like family.
Yeah.
And you don't want to,
No.
even though you know sometime you're going to eat them,
Yeah.
but you hate it. you
Yeah.
know.
That's what I was telling my mom. I was like, she's like, what are you going to do if we do start running low on hay? I'm like, I'm just going to have to one by one just start butchering the ones,
Yeah.
just slowly.
We will too.
Yeah. It's just what we're going to have to do.
You know, and we've got some of them that, gosh, we paid a lot of money for them. They're
I
beautiful
know.
animals. We
Yeah.
don't want to eat those.
I know.
So
Yeah.
we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah. Alrighty, y'all. So thank y'all so much for watching, and we will catch y'all on the next video. Bye-bye.